Big g'day and welcome to another massive edition of the RDFNL Netball Show. Thanks to On Time Delivery Solutions. My name's Andy. I'm joined by Tara Murray, and we're coming into this show on the back of some very big success. 2 from 2 in the Interleague Netball against Central Highlands, and our girls are definitely up and about after some great performances.
It is. It was a slow start for the senior women, and they had to come from behind. They were 10 goals down at one point in the second quarter, so they fought their way back into it, and once they hit the front late, they were able to stay in front and get a very solid win. It was only 2 goals in the end, but a win's a win in this competition.
Absolutely. It was fantastic to see one of the reigning defending Ryan medalists have an outstanding performance. Beck Morabito also taking out the best on court award. I think she scored 31 of the 45 goals. She was absolutely outstanding with lethal accuracy in goals.
It was. The shooting circle was a little bit of a concern for, I think, the RDNL, because you had Chloe Wilson, who was named in the side, did pull out. So in the end, you had Kira Stewart as playing coach. So they started with Rebecca Hicks and Beck Morabito in goals, and it just sort of didn't work in that first quarter when they started slowly. So in the end, Kira came on, and Kira and Beck played, I think, the last 3 quarters in goal, and we had a really moving circle. From what I can gather, that the Central Highlands had a very tall goalkeeper who was taller than any player that's in our competition. So it was a real test for them. So obviously you've got the height against the 2 moving goalers, and Beck finished off a lot of the work. We know Kira's not a big volume shooter, and she passes a lot, especially when she sort of plays with Chloe at Macedon, and I think it was pretty similar on the weekend as well. So they sort of played that with Beck, that Kira and Beck just moved around the circle, got the shots, and in the end they got the win. And
Kira almost acts as though she's an extra sort of mid-court a bit inside. I know you've only got 2 players to have inside that goal, but she's really good at sort of setting up the predominant shooter in good positions. Well,
yeah, and obviously we look at it, Kira does play a lot of wing attack, so
yeah.
she has got that wing attack, goal attack, and she will shoot when the situation arises. Sometimes it's the key of, if you've got a shooter who is shooting really well, the goal attack, you just play a little bit of a decoy, you just play the passer, you just play as another mid-quarter, and it sort of works that way. So that's what she sort of did in that game as well, and we saw with Beck shooting such a high volume of goals in the end, and it worked for them. So it was a tough start for them, and as Kira said, the Central Highlands team had been training together for 4 weeks.
Yep.
This side, I think, had 1 training session, if that. So they had a lot of good players on the court, but it was just about them all juggling together and working out how to play the same game.
Which certainly gives that group a lot of confidence, and hopefully there's more opportunities for that group to play together in the future as well, which I think is very exciting. A lot of great talent on there, and I think in those situations you don't necessarily pick the best players in the competition, but you pick the best players that are more suited to positions that can play to your style, like we have seen with the football in the past. And I think we certainly saw that on the day. The girls, once they got their groove going, they certainly put the foot down. And
I think one of the keys later on, there was a lot of Macedon players in that group, so they play with each other week in, week out. So I know they made a few of those changes, obviously, when the group weren't connecting, to try and bring some of those connections in that work on a weekly basis, and eventually they did end up working their way into it. And that's what you mentioned, the opportunity. Most of this side has been named to the association champs. I think that's next month.
Yep.
There is a few changes. I believe Paula Broadstock, who is now Paula Jewell, is one player who's going to come into that mix. Yep. Possibly Chloe will be back for that one as well. So you've got a couple there, and I think Claire Johnson from Rupert's Wood's another one that possibly may be part of that side as well. So you've got a few other players that might come into that team, but the core group of this has been named for the association champs.
It's looking fantastic, and great to see our junior girls have a really good win on the weekend as well. To basically, we had the clean sweep against Central Highlands, which is great for the competitions. We've got some outstanding juniors in there across some many great clubs. Predominantly the list was made up of Woodin Heskett, Sunbury Lions, and a few other clubs as well, sort of involved. And we've got some great talent in there that no doubt we'll be seeing them play a lot of A-grade matches, if they're not already.
Yeah, you look at several of those girls are already playing A-grade, and I think Rupert's Wood's another one that was well represented in that side. So you've got, I know Sarah Duff from Wood End's one who's already playing A-grade. You've got quite a few that have come through that are playing B-grade and C-grade across those other ones. I know Georgia Hillier, who was one of the best players in the game. I think she's either B or C grade at Rupert's Wood. So you've got these girls who are playing at those higher levels, already got that experience, and it shows when they step on the court with players of their own age group.
And you look at, I think it's Kira Fitzgerald. She plays VNL as well at a really good standard too. She's had Div 1 and under 19 experience, so another quality talent there.
It is. I know she plays with the Sunbury Lions, I think, with Kim Bailey, our friend Kim Bailey over there, and obviously been involved at the Sovereigns as well. So you've got these experienced players who are thriving in the opportunity when they're playing in their own age group.
Yeah, exactly right there. Well, we turn our attention